Hello, it's Jeanette Beauty and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to get the perfect perm rod out in 12 simple steps. Step 1 is you want to start on clean hair, and I cannot stress this enough. I wash my hair once a week and I always start on clean hair every time I do my styles, because you don't want to add product on top of product when it's dry, and that can cause product irritation and build up on the scalp and hair, and it can really be detrimental to your healthy hair journey. Step 2 is you want to section your hair to prepare it for styling, and this is very important, especially if you have thick hair. You want to really separate your hair so you can really focus on giving the TLC to each section as a whole. This has really helped me, especially when doing styles, because I can really focus on what I am doing, and you want to make sure that you do have clean parts. They don't have to be perfect, but just make sure that your parts are clean because you don't want any snagging in between the parts. So I make sure that I always section my hair into quadrants, and it also helps me to stay nice and organized and on track so I don't miss any hair for any style, and I can really give the TLC to each section that my hair needs. I do use the LOS method, and I will do a dedicated video on this technique a little bit later, so stay tuned for that video. But I really recommend to do your hair in sections on wash day and also when styling your hair. You want to stay nice and organized and nice and neat because your styles will come out so much better. Now that I have my hair separated into quadrants, I'm ready to apply my products that are going to help to condition and nourish my hair. I'm going to apply water to my hair before any product, and water is a must. Water is a moisturizer alone, so it's going to help moisturize your hair. I'm always saturating my hair with water. It really helps for the products just to penetrate into my hair a lot better, and because my hair is very thick, I have to separate each quadrant into a subsection just because I really want to make sure that I am getting my hair nice and moisturized. So you see how my curls are clumping very well together. This is a sign of moisture. Next, I'm going to apply my leave-in conditioner, and it's from Aftergy. It is their Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner, and I really do like this. It also has a heat protectant, and I knew I was going to be out in the heat. This weather is so nice and the sun is beaming down, so I do also want to protect my hair from the heat. So I decided to use this Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner because it does have that UV ray protection, and then I'm going to seal that moisture in with jojoba oil, and this is from Desert Essence, and I love using oils on my hair all the time. I do a pre-poo method, and I also apply oil sometimes in my deep conditioner just as an intense treatment because it really does help. I treat my hair with so much TLC. Many of you that know me, you really know that I really take care of my hair, and it shows. Also, I'm using the Rattail Comb as I'm twisting my hair to help lock in this moisture, and also I want to keep my ends smooth. That is also very key. You want to make sure that your ends are nice and smooth the whole way around, because if your ends are rough or they're dry or brittle or they're snagging, then the style is not going to come out right regardless. You want to make sure that your ends stay smooth the whole time around. So if you are applying products, make sure that you comb the ends of your hair so that they're nice and smooth, because when you do go to apply the perm rod, your ends are going to be nice and smooth. By the time your hair dries, then you take the perm rod out, your ends are going to remain nice and smooth. So you want to make sure that your ends stay smooth throughout this whole process. It's very important. And sometimes I do apply a little bit more oil to the section of hair if I feel that my hair just needs a little bit more slip. I just really want to make sure that my ends stay nice and conditioned. Your ends are the oldest part of your hair, so you really have to make sure that you do treat it with love. And I know that I'm always saying this to give your hair the TLC that it needs and deserves, because it is so true. You want to make sure that you're giving your hair the tender love and care that it needs. I'm always getting questions every single day about tips, and that is one tip that I can really give you. I know that that mantra is very vague, but if you apply this to your healthy hair journey, it will make sense. Now my hair is nice and moisturized, and I have 2 juicy twists in each quadrant of hair, and that is what I love. Now to step 4, you want to part your hair in appropriate sections for the perm rods. There are many different sizes of perm rods, so it's important that you do make appropriate sections. So for example, if I have a large perm rod, I'm not going to part small sections of hair like I would if I had a small perm rod like the ones that I'm using today, and vice versa. So see here, the jumbo, the green one, you're not going to part a small section of hair for this jumbo perm rod. And likewise, if I'm using a small perm rod, I'm not going to part a big section of hair. I want to make sure that each section is applicable to each perm rod of hair so that I don't have too much or I don't have too little, because it's just not going to go so smoothly. So right here, I parted a good section, I'll say about an inch. So I want to make sure that I do stay consistent in my parting and that my parting is nice and clean. So I do feel my parts just to make sure that there's no hair in between and snagging. So step 5 is apply your styling product and smooth in your hair. I'm going to be using the Design Essentials Naturals Almond and Avocado Mousse. I absolutely love this mousse. This is one of my favorite mousses to use in my hair, hands down. I love this mousse. I have no problems, no fails. Anytime I use this mousse, it clumps my curls really nice, and it also has a nice slit. I love it. Step 6 is to part clean sections for the perm rod. Again, you want to make sure that you are parting nice, smooth sections in your hair and that they are clean. Step 7 is to comb each section very well to ensure that your hair is nice and smooth. So again, with the smoothing, you want to make sure that your hair is nice and smooth. Don't put the perm rod on until your hair is smooth. And this goes for any style. You want to make sure that your hair is nice and smooth from the roots all the way down to the ends of your hair. Trust me, your style will look a lot better, especially your ends. You won't have that frizzing. Your hair will just look so much better, and your style will also hold up a lot longer. And remember to smooth the styler in your hair very well. You don't want the product sitting on top of your hair, but rather you want your hair to accept it and to penetrate into your hair. Also, you want to make sure that you are parting appropriate sections for the perm rod, because if your section is too big for the perm rod, you will get puffy roots, and it's not really optimal for this style. So just remember to have appropriate sections for the perm rod. And I'm also smoothing my hair really good. In step 8, you want to apply the perm rods to the end of your hair and then wind up towards your roots. So for me, after I finish smoothing the styler in my hair very well, I'm going to put the perm rod close to my ends of hair, but not all the way at the end. So I have about maybe an inch of hair left, and then I'm going to wind that inch of hair around the perm rod very snug, and then I'm going to firmly just pull on my hair, pull down a little bit so that the perm rod is nice and secure on my hair. This is very important. You don't want the perm rod going up your hair. Like, you don't want to wind the perm rod up your hair and it's loose. You want this style to be nice and firm. Make sure that you are firmly pulling your hair nice and snug, and then wind your hair going up in a winding motion all the way to your roots. So you want this whole process to be nice and firm. Don't wind the perm rod up to your roots flimsy. You want to be nice and sturdy, nice and strong. So make sure that your hair is A, on the roller, nice and snug. B, you want to make sure that you do pull it a little bit so your hair is nice and taut on the roller. And then C, you want to make sure that you are winding the roller upwards towards your roots. This is going to make sure that your hair is nice and secure on the roller, and it is going to snap in place nice and securely when it gets to your roots. I'm going to show you several more times how this process looks. Also, to point out, I like to use my pointer finger and my thumb just to help me anchor the perm rod towards my roots. And here's how my first row looks. And remember, you are parting appropriate sections for the perm rod. So when I'm making this row here, I did have to part it over because I didn't have enough hair for the perm rod. So I didn't mention this, but if you don't have enough hair and you are putting your hair on the rollers, your hair is going to come out looking a little bit more stringy. So for instance, if I use a large perm rod and I don't have enough hair to put on the roller, my curls are going to come out stringy when they are dry. And on the contrary, if I have too much hair for a roller, I'm going to end up with puffy roots, and my hair is not going to dry as quickly as it would if the hair was appropriate for this section. So those two instances aren't optimal for how I want my perm rod out to look. So I just wanted to point that out. Make sure that your hair does have enough hair in the section for the perm rod. You don't want to have too little and you don't want to have too much. You just want to have that nice happy balance. And you can really see how this mousse is clumping my curls together, and this is what I love. I want my hair to be really receptive of my styler so that I know when I do my style, by the time it dries, my style is going to look very good. It's going to hold up good. It's going to look good. My ends are going to be nice and smooth. And I'm just going to have that volume, that definition, everything that I want for my style. And my curls are nice and moisturized. As you can see, they are clumping together, which is a great indication that all the products that I use, from that leave-in conditioner, the oil, and this mousse, are working together very well. And this is the second row done. I also wanted to point out how well my curls are clumping together here after I comb it. This is really what you want to look for. You want that sign that shows you that your hair is nice and moisturized, that the products are working in your hair and not just sitting on top of it. That is very key for any style that you do, from a wash and go, from a twist style to a flexi rod out, from a perm rod out. You want to make sure that your hair is receptive to these products and you smooth all the products in your hair very well. For instance, this is what my hair looked like before I smoothed it out with the comb, and you can already see the difference that smoothing it out with the comb makes. If I were to put the perm rod on that section with my hair looking like that, it would not turn out good. I already know it. So I just really make sure that I smooth my hair regardless of any style that I do. I just want my hair to be nice and smooth, especially the ends, because your hair will dry the same way it was when it's wet. So if your hair was tangled or matted, or it was dry when it was a little damp, that's how it is going to be when it dries. So if your hair isn't nice and smooth when it's wet, your hair is definitely not going to be nice and smooth when it dries. Now that I've applied all the rollers, I had to figure out how I want to dry my hair, which is step 9. Make sure that you do dry your hair, because my hair is still damp. Whether it is air drying your hair like I always do, I don't put direct heat on my hair, or if you want to sit under a hooded dryer, but just make sure that your hair is 100% dry, whatever you do, before you unravel the rollers, especially the roots. I always check before I unravel these rollers. And that brings me to step 10, is to take out the perm rods in an unwinding motion. So I'm going to use the opposite direction from when I applied the perm rods, and that just makes sure that the curl pattern is not disturbed. And you can see how well my hair took to these rollers. And here's how my curls look after I have removed all the perm rods. My curls are nice and springy, and it's perfect. And here's how the back looks. And now to step 11, to apply a small amount of oil to both the hair and scalp. I'm going to use this green olive lavender scalp oil by Earth's Nectar, and I really love their products. I'm going to apply it to my scalp and down the length of my hair because this really helps prevent any unnecessary frizzing, and I just want all my curls to stay intact and have that nice sheen to them. And now to the fun part. Step 12 is to gently separate the curls in the same direction from when the perm rod was applied. So I'm just going to clip some hair up so I can work on a small amount of hair at a time. I'm going to pull each curl about 5 times to gently loosen up the curl because I don't want to just automatically separate it and then I can cause unnecessary frizzing. I'm going to just gently pull the curl about 5 times. Once it is nice and loosened up, I'm going to separate the curl about 5 to 6 times where it naturally wants to separate. This way I'm not causing unnecessary frizzing, my hair is not getting snagged, and my curls, like the curl pattern, it stays intact. And I wanted to point out that as I'm twirling my finger around the curl, as I'm separating it, I'm also going all the way down to the end. So it's like I'm smoothing my hair from the roots all the way down to my ends so I don't get that frizzing or snagging at the ends of my hair. And this makes a huge difference. Before, like years ago, I didn't do this and I would notice some ends, they would look a little frizzy or like bushy. But once I started doing this, in my hands, they already have oil on it. So it acts as like a lubricant to when I'm smoothing my fingers down the curls. And once I smooth my hair all the way down to the ends, there is no frizzing whatsoever. And I also feel my hair just to see if there's any bigger curls because I want to separate those curls as well. And now to step 13, my favorite part is to pick my hair for more volume and shape my hair to my liking. I am going to use this pick. I really love it. I love volume and I love definition. So when I get both, it's like the best of both worlds. I just really love when my hair is nice and big but still defined. And I'm going to style my edges. This is totally optional. I just like doing it sometimes. So I'm going to use this DNA Essence Edge Gel. And I really like it. I have been using it for about a month now. And I really like how it sleeks my hair down and it stays laid. And here's the finished results. I absolutely love this perm rod out. It just looks so good. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!